Welcome to the 2024 Economic Depression and Preparation Channel. Thank you for joining me on this Sunday, November 3rd, 2024 edition. Remember to set your clocks back an hour if you already had. For this weekend is when the daylight savings time here this Sunday in America. Hawaii has the highest cost of living in the U.S. So we're looking at states that have high cost of living, and many people are fleeing these states into the Midwest and the Deep South to get away from either the high taxation or the high housing costs that we see in these states. And so it's no surprise here that Hawaii tops the list. But if you look at it also, we have California, people are moving out of there. Number 2, D.C., Washington, D.C., people are moving out into the hinterburbs of D.C. Massachusetts, same thing. People are getting out of Boston. New York, people are leaving New York City. Alaska, people are getting out of there. Washington State, Seattle, same thing. New Jersey, the whole state, high taxation, high crime. Maryland, the same thing, high taxation. And Vermont, number 10, rounds out the top 10 U.S. states with the highest cost of living. Let me know if you live in one of these states. Let me know what keeps you there. Is it the equity in the family, the equity in your home, the equity in the terms of the location to the beaches or the mountains, or vice versa? What keeps you in these high cost of living states at any age at this point in American history? Let me know that, because right now we're seeing pressures, major pressures, that it seems like you just can't make enough money to be able to keep it with all the bills and have fun at the same time in these states. Core inflation continues to rise, ladies and gentlemen. You see here, core inflation, according to NewYorkPost.com, rises more than expected in September. This is the largest monthly gain since April. And ladies and gentlemen, we have been out of this pandemic thing for the last year and a half or so, 4 years total of this pandemic coverage that we've had, and inflation is starting to creep up again. They told us that it was going down to the targeted quote unquote 2%, but you and I know that inflation is way higher. It's at 7% or 8% real inflation. And so now the Federal Reserve is thinking about cutting again. The question is, ladies and gentlemen, are they going to cut 25 basis points or 50 basis points, or does it really even make a difference at this point? They gave us a 50 basis point rate cut. Did that really spark things a little bit? The stock market did a little dead cat bounce and went over 42,000, and now it's on its way back down. Mortgage rates are still above 6.7%, headed to 7% by the end of this month. And so did it really make a difference? And now they're going to meet next weekend after the elections, after all of this, and decide on whether or not to do a 25 or a 50 basis point cut. Many economists believe that a 25 basis point cut is almost a 75 to 100% guarantee. But now with these numbers coming in, it's possible that we could see a 50 basis point rate cut before the year end is out in 2024. And like I said, the Fed is also banking on seeing low unemployment rates ahead of any future interest rate cuts. Well, the problem is unemployment is slowly rising. And America's economy here, they're saying, CNN is spinning it as saying that we're having a soft landing. But ladies and gentlemen, the retail numbers are soft, the job numbers are soft, and people who do have jobs, the wages are not keeping up, or they're just holding steady with inflation. They're not gaining any ground on the bills or the goods and services that they need to run a household. So this is going to be a big problem, regardless of what happens on Tuesday. Is that this economy is stagnant. It's not growing, and we're not the only ones. Let me clarify this. America and the Western world is not the only one. We have stagnant economies in Europe. We have stagnant economies in South America, Asia, Australia, you name it, Africa. We have stagnant economies. And this is going to be a big problem heading into next year, 2025. Now, CNN Business says consumers keep spending, but with what? With credit cards, with, savings, with, gifts, spending, refis. That's the question that everybody's asking. And right now, it looks like things are not looking that good. Now, U.S. growth grew by 2.7% GDP last quarter, the third quarter. We're in the fourth quarter now. And I expect that number to continue to come down to around 2.0% or less of GDP growth as we stagnate. And this economy is on the way down. Now, China, just to give you some international news here, China is considering a fiscal stimulus injection here, like a $1.4 billion stimulus injection to boost ailing economy. Is that something that could come over to the United States? Could our Federal Reserve Bank inject another stimulus into this economy, say after the beginning of next year, like say around February, March, when the doldrums of this economy, we go through the doldrums of this economy as people have spent all the holiday money and back to normal. So it's possible, ladies and gentlemen, that we could receive after the elections blow over and after the inauguration in January and after all that, sometime between February and April, it's possible that we get another fiscal stimulus injection into this economy by the Federal Reserve Bank, either direct stimulus, another check, $1,400 check, or it's possible, or something that they would do only to Main Street, only to Wall Street with the banks. So China is reportedly considering a massive stimulus package as a country looks to breathe new life into its ailing economy. So all of the economies are ailing around the world, but the U.S. is leading the way with the economy, with the debt, as we're at $35.5 trillion debt, and that means that the spending is going to continue in all aspects, regardless of who wins the election. Spending, government spending, and also military and defense spending is going to continue to break this country. And not only that, the social services are going to be decreased in terms of disaster services, as you see with FEMA and all that. That's going to be decreased in the next couple of years here, and you're seeing that as we continue to experience that. So right now, I believe that they're going to continue to do this fiscal stimulus to follow along what these other countries are doing here. Turkey and Greece, some other countries in Europe, Germany, they're all considering fiscal stimulus. And I believe that America and UK, United Kingdom, will follow with fiscal stimulus coming up and after January, after we get all this election things and the New Year's and Christmas blew by. They're going to start considering fiscal stimulus or austerity measures for this American economy, because core inflation is continuing and high unemployment, and that's going to be something the Federal Reserve Bank is going to look at. They're just waiting for the numbers to come in. They have the numbers, they have the data, and they're going to be continuing to cut rates, and they're going to be continuing to possibly give a direct stimulus to the American people. Not that it's going to help that much, but this is the kind of economy that we're in. We have to keep spending. We have to keep bringing the money to make this economy go round and round. So think about that as you continue to make your preparations to be able to weather this storm. That's going to be a multi-event storm in all areas of our life: economic, financial, physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And be blessed this week. Get some fresh air. Get outside. Enjoy the day if you can. God bless. I'll talk to you soon on this Monday work week coming up soon. Thank you.